Hey guys, it's me, Made Up Jen, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a very exciting video for you guys today. So my best friend in the whole wide world finally let me do her nails because I asked her if it was okay for me to do her nails. You know, we could hang out and I could do her nails and we could like chit chat and talk and catch up because you know we have very busy lives. So I was very nervous. I told her right before I even started, I'm like, I'm super nervous. And she's like, why? I'm like, because I've never done anyone's nails other than my nails. So she actually does go with someone else to go get her nails done regularly, I think every 1 to 2 weeks. So that's why her cuticle area looks so clean right now. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I did is I pretty much used the cuticle pusher to push any of that white like skin that grows over the nail. Obviously it's cuticle, but it's also like another layer under there, and I kind of start shaving those little parts off so it's easier for me to go in with the band, which is what I'm doing right now, and just remove all the shine and also take that little white thing off. For this one I am going at about 4,000 RPM, maybe 5. So I'm only going to show you guys one hand. Obviously I did do both of her hands at the same time, but I didn't want to bore you guys because it took me so long. She was watching TV and I was trying to really like concentrate and not cut her. My thumb is a little jacked up. I was playing volleyball and I went down for a ball and it hit the floor, and when it hit the floor it kind of like pressed my thumb up, so it kind of like sprained it a bit. So it was really like wrecked for a whole solid month and a half. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and use a cuticle bit. I got this cuticle set on Amazon and it comes with a bunch of different ones, and I'm using this one to pretty much push the cuticle, and I'm also using it to remove any of that extra layer that still might be on there. You guys know that white skin I'm talking about. You guys can see it right there. I'm just trying to remove most of it off. So right here I'm gonna go in with another cuticle bit. This is the little diamond ball one that everyone uses. So this is pretty much removing the actual cuticle from the skin. I don't know if you guys see, I'm kind of like pushing a little bit more. I'm removing whatever's left. And then I'm just gonna go in with the white and swipe, and I'm gonna remove any of the dust that might be left over, because obviously I dusted some of it off, but you have to make sure that you are able to remove everything. And also the swipe works as a dehydrator. Right here I am using the Young Nails Protein Bond. So you're gonna see me go through all the fingers, work on the other hand, and then I come back to this hand, and then I'm gonna go in again with it. It's always good for you to put at least 2 layers of this so that the acrylic has something really to adhere, and also so you won't have any lifting. So here I am going on that second layer. So just make sure that you're not putting so much of it. I always go, every time I'm taking it out, if you go ahead and don't wipe some of it off, you will flood everything, and you don't want the bond to get onto the skin, because when you apply the acrylic, you're most likely gonna get acrylic stuck on your skin as well. And right here, I'm gonna go in now with the acrylic. I am using the Mia Secret cover. And then also, this is a good way for you to make kind of like an extension if they want no nail tips and they want a little bit of length. You can actually pull the finger down, let the acrylic kind of like hang down from their actual natural nail, and then you just go under with the brush and you remove it. You kind of like shape whatever acrylic you just put, and it can extend the nail just slightly a little bit without having to actually glue a nail tip. And this is such a pretty color. She wanted me to just go ahead and do an acrylic overlay over her nails. That's how she does it all the time. It's just the most convenient way for her. She is a dental assistant, so because of that, she has to have really short nails, and she can't have long acrylic nails on top of that. There's like a certain like thickness to her nails that is allowed for her at work. And also, I had never worked with nails like small nails at all. I've always worked with applying a nail tip and making it somewhat long and then filling in from there. So like right here on this middle finger, I actually applied my acrylic ball a little bit too high. I went a little bit too into the cuticle area. You're gonna see me right here. I'm actually gonna have to clean up around the cuticle area because that one little acrylic bead I just put was a little too high. So make sure that if you are working on short nails and you're just doing an acrylic overlay, you want to make sure that you kind of put it right in the center and then you work from it right there. I actually put it in the center and then I start working the acrylic upwards towards the cuticle. I don't drag it, I just slightly start pushing it up and then I drag some of it down, but don't make sure that you don't have a heavy hand when you drag it down. You're just lightly tapping it down. So as you guys see, I'm working here. You guys will see me at some point like I apply a little bit too much because I'm so nervous. Again, I'm really nervous. This was a real like experience for me because I've never actually worked with anyone like with anyone's hands that are not mine. And obviously I'm gonna go ahead and mess up as many times as I want because it's my hand and I have to deal with it. But when I'm working with someone else, A, I don't want to take 3 million hours to do her nails, especially when it's just an acrylic overlay, and B, I don't want to cut her and I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable that she doesn't want to come back to me, so that I could practice some more on someone else other than me. So I'm just trying to make this work right here. As you guys can see, like I didn't notice that on the sides of the fingers as I was applying the acrylic, I wasn't actually like trying to fix the sides. At some point you can tell like the sides of the nails look a little bit too wide. So when you have that issue where it looks too wide, it's okay. What's gonna happen though is you're gonna have to just file most of that off, and when you file it is when you're gonna shape the nail to your liking. So that's just the way that it works for me. I've been learning by myself on myself, and I don't have every day to practice. I practice whenever I do my hands, and at this point like it's just so hard for me, you know. Like you guys see right there, I didn't even bother to go back and check that I had this little piece of acrylic bead hanging out in that middle finger. I was just like trying to go fast. I was just trying to not take too long, which still ended up happening anyway because, you know, we were chit-chatting, and then I had to file, like hand file, unfortunately, because like I said, my thumb just wasn't strong enough to really hold the e-file to go at about 9 to 10,000 RPM. So you have to have a really steady hand, and I just could not do that for this hand specifically. So there's gonna be a part where you guys see me just file my life away, and I'm gonna cut most of it off because why would you guys want to see me just filing my life away for like an hour? So you guys see, I put it in the middle. I'm slowly working it up, and then I'm pulling it down. Not dragging, sorry. I said dragging earlier. I meant to say pulling. So I'm gonna go back in with the bead. Obviously the first bead I put is more of a base, and then I want to make sure that there is a thicker hold to that so that we make sure her nails don't pop off. Well, the acrylic doesn't pop off, because the acrylic can pop off obviously from the nail, and we don't want the nail to get damaged. So here I'm gonna go ahead and start filing down with my file. This is my Taylor something, I'll tag it right here. Tammy Taylor, something Taylor, I know it's something Taylor. There you go. I'm gonna go in with my Tammy Taylor file. You can find this on Amazon. I really like these for shaping. They're very convenient, and then the back is like a rubber, so you can really hold on to the hand file. But I'm gonna go ahead and start filing the acrylic down. So one of the things that I was really worried about when I was doing this is how thick I put that acrylic. I did not know how thick this was, so because of that I really wish I would have been able to do the e-file, because with the e-file this would have gone so much quicker, because when you are filing down you want to go anywhere between 8 to 10,000 RPM. 8 obviously if it's not that thick of a bulk that you have to, like, you know, bulk down. If you have somewhat of a thickness and you want to just get through it, obviously 9-10,000 RPM. Myself, I would not suggest going higher than 10,000 RPM. You really have to hold the finger still. You really have to have practice. So even myself, that I've been doing this for almost 2 years, I still have not gone to 11. Like, I'm too scared. I stay at 10. You shouldn't go higher than 10, honestly. But again, I was really scared. This is the first time I've ever worked with anyone else, and I kept asking my best friend, is it too hot? Please let me know. Let me know if it gets too hot. Let me know if it gets too hot. Like, I was just so paranoid. You have to make sure that whenever you decide to start doing it on other people, you really have to be relaxed and confident. Yes, you're going to be nervous, but how are you going to be able to get clientele if you can't even do it on one other person than yourself? So you guys see me right here. I'm just shaping those sides. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you guys that kind of made the sides a little too fat. So I'm just reshaping some of that. And then obviously the middle finger, there was like that weird extra acrylic that dried down in the center, so I'm just going back in there. I dust off the nails just so I can see. I don't want to over file anything that I don't need to over file on these fingers. So one of the advices that I do have for you guys is, whenever you decide to start taking in clients and obviously you're practicing, I do recommend that you decide how thick you want your acrylic to be, how thin you want your acrylic to be, because I've been doing nails for almost 2 years and I've seen different nail posts on Instagram. I've seen nails on girls, and they all are like different sizes, and I just never know, you know. So at this point, I make it thin enough but still thick enough where there's some type of base. I'm not always worried about the apex. I just need to make sure that I have a strong, solid base. So right here, I'm gonna go in with a cuticle bit. So this one's more of the little pointy one. I'm sealing in the cuticle. Have you ever run your fingers through your hair and you have acrylics and they're starting to kind of grow, and then they get stuck in that little wedge, like where you see the nail growth? And sometimes you kind of see like there's like a weird dip, like you can see kind of like, oh, like it might lift, and that's why my hair is getting stuck. Well, it's this part. So you want to make sure that you seal the cuticle. And what I mean with sealing the cuticle, you want to make sure that you can't see any space between the real nail and the acrylic. So you want to blend it together, where when the nail starts lifting, you don't have that issue where you can see any lift from there. But I'm just going in there and I'm pretty much fixing the cuticle area just to make sure everything is nice and set. And then I go back in with the file just to finish blending out everything, because obviously if you go in with the cuticle, you leave like this weird dip right at the edge. So I just go back in with my hand file and I'm just blending in the cuticle with the rest of the nail. Okay, and you guys see me doing a filing. So now that I've filed down everything, the middle finger, I actually decided to do it into a French tip, a very short French tip, obviously because her nails are very short, but I wanted to be a little creative. So the middle finger is obviously going to be a French tip, and then the ring finger, I am putting a little bit of glitter on there, and then that's it. I just wanted to make sure to practice a little bit of what that was like to actually manually do the design and not paint it on. Also, I don't have enough gel polishes to really do any of that painting, so I had to go in with the actual acrylic. And you guys see I'm just filling in the corners, and it's okay if it's over the other acrylic because you can just file that down and it'll all blend really nice. And right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and file it off, and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. So I'm just filing. Obviously, yes, I know I could have gone with the e-file. I'm gonna keep saying it. I know I could have gone with the e-file. Trust me, as I was doing all of this, my hand started hurting, my wrist started hurting, and obviously my thumb was already hurting, and I was just like, damn it, I should have just used the hand file. But I was so scared of, making her bleed. Obviously, what if my hand slips and it hurts her? I just didn't want to cut her. I just didn't want to do any of that. I was so scared. So you guys see me right here. I'm just shaping everything down. I'm trying to remove most of that white and blend in that cover color that I used with the white. As you guys see now, the the actual color, what I wanted it to show, is now starting to finally show now that I removed the excess white that I didn't need. When I did apply the acrylic in the middle, I did shape it where there would be that leftover space, so when I put the white, it could fill in the empty spaces and it wouldn't be so hard for me to do this. As you guys see, the finger's coming out really nice. And I'm actually asking her right now, like, is this fine? And she's pretty much telling me, I need you to thin it down a little bit more. It's too thick. And I'm just like, cool, let me keep shaping. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I got you. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and shape the nail. And once I am done filing that, I'm gonna actually go in to the ring finger. Well, first I'm gonna dust off everything because I don't want any dust going in the way. But I am using this little 6-pack of glitter thing that I bought on Amazon. Everything I use will be linked down below in the description box. So if you're looking for that glitter, I will link it down below. By the way, I am mixing a couple of glitters. I think I used like 2 of them. I'm just trying to make it look a little dimensional, but I am applying some glitter and I'm just filling in where I want to fill some of that glitter in. I'm moving it around. I'm making sure that none of it falls. By the way, I am applying a little bit of clear acrylic and then I apply the glitter on top of that. I just need that little bit of clear acrylic there as a base so that the glitter can have something to stick to. That way, you know, it's not just falling off when I apply a clear base on top of that. I'm sorry, the thing is so off. I didn't notice that the camera was not on her finger, and yeah, that happened. Hold it like that. Hold it like that. Just, ooh, yes. Give it to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like it. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my first nail client, my best friend. I will see you guys in my next nail video. Peace.